Coming up, Sears filed for bankruptcy after owners failed to pay millions of dollars in debt. We'll tell you how this affects the company's stores in central New York.
And Senator Elizabeth Warren proves her Native American heritage in an ad. Find out why critics say this is a direct response to attacks from the president.
And several people are dead after a major rainfall slammed the south of France. Find out why rescue crews are evacuating more people from the area. Citrus TV starts right now.
Now, Citrus TV News live at 6 starts with breaking news.
This just in, police, fire officials, and the hazmat team are investigating a suspicious letter. This letter was sent to Bangor, Maine, the home of Senator Susan Collins. The police say they were notified around 1:30 this afternoon. Good evening, I'm Chris Venzon.
And I'm Elijah Shama. Officials say there is no evidence that the public is in danger. The reason is not yet clear, but officials believe it is because of her swing vote to confirm Judge Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court. Citrus TV will keep you updated as new information comes out. And Sears plans to close more than 100 stores after closing several earlier this year. But how are Central New Yorkers affected by the decision? Reporter Sunny Balkin is in studio to tell us how.
Thanks, guys. Last month, the Sears in DeWitt and Clay closed their doors for good, leaving an absence of the store's presence in the local community. These stores are part of a larger trend as the company closed about 300 Sears since February due to the company's financial downfall. Earlier this morning, Sears Holding, the parent company of both Sears and Kmart, filed for bankruptcy. The owner says the century-old company struggled financially for years, but the icing on the cake was the $134 million debt payment due today that the company simply could not afford. President Trump says it's a shame to see the famous company fall.
They did last night, to me, is very sad. Somebody that is of my generation, Sears Roebuck was a big deal.
The Sears Holding Company released a statement saying that they plan to keep their websites and all profitable stores open. However, they're still planning on closing nearly 200 stores by the end of the year, with roughly 50 of those happening next month. So if you're in the area and looking for a Sears, your closest option is the Eastview Mall, over an hour away in Vector, New York. But even that won't be open for long, as it has plans to close sometime next month. Back to you guys.
Sunny, thank you. Back on campus, dozens of newly erected tiny homes appeared seemingly overnight on the quad. Gabrielle Caracciolo has the inside look at the purpose behind these miniature shacks.
The SU and ESF chapter of Habitat for Humanity is hosting its annual Shack-A-Thon event on the SU quad this week. The event starts with the building and decorating of makeshift shacks by the student organizations. Then, for 4 days, they will remain on the quad. Habitat for Humanity member Lauren Reichelt says she's excited to be involved in the event.
I've helped my dad in the past, but nothing like this.
One of the other organizations participating in Shack-A-Thon is Alpha Chi Omega. Emily Gunn says her sorority was nervous but excited to get involved and build their very first shack.
We're trying to get super involved in other philanthropies on campus, and we thought that this is an awesome cause, so yeah, that's why we're here. We're trying to bridge the gap between Greek life and non-Greek life by doing other organization stuff. So.
Students are taking these piles of wood and turning them into little shacks like this in order to raise awareness for Habitat for Humanity's cause of homelessness.
When you actually see students sleeping in these shacks, then it's kind of like, oh wow, they're out here all night with a sleeping bag or sometimes with less things. So it's kind of like you're more aware.
The shacks will remain on the SU quad until this Wednesday, with members of each organization at the shacks during the day. Gabrielle Caracciolo, Citrus TV News.
Thanks, Gabrielle. For students interested in learning CPR, the Syracuse University Ambulance and Fire Safety Organization can teach you. According to medical officials, Syracuse is considered a heart-safe campus. That means 5% of the campus is CPR trained. If you're interested, training occurs every third Monday. Program Director Paul Smith says learning these skills can give people reassurance in the case of an emergency.
My hope is after they leave that 2.5 to 3 hour class, that they are comfortable if they're ever given that situation where they need to act as a rescuer with either an adult, child, or infant.
Students, faculty, and staff are all welcome to learn CPR in the sessions. The next session is Monday, November 19th, and training is $50 a person.
And temperatures took an abrupt dip last weekend after this weekend's warmer weather. And it looks like the cold is unfortunately here to stay, Elijah. Weather anchor reporter Riley Burg has today's first look at weather. Riley, any good news, please?
Unfortunately, it is just not looking nice outside. As you can see right now, about 57 degrees with some showers and some clouds and some cold. Definitely going to want a raincoat if you're outside right now. What happened to our nice weather? Mother Nature, you're teasing us. I don't understand. Crazy how this weather is happening. But moving into tonight, we're going to look at about 38 degrees. Again, more clouds and more showers. And like I said, remembering that beautiful 80 degrees from last week, well, you might want to worry a little bit. Winter is about to come. You might want to bring out your winter boots from hiding because Syracuse is expecting snowfall in the next couple of days. I'll tell you when and how much in my full weather forecast. Chris and Elijah, back to you.
Thanks, Riley. If you're driving around the Syracuse area, you might want to plan for possible traffic delays. Workers started construction on the IA-1 project today and will continue working on it until Thursday. Partial lane closures are expected near Park Street and Hiawatha Boulevard exits. Construction will also close the southbound ramps leading to Destiny Mall. Expect delays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. when workers will be on the interstate. Multiple central New York school districts are at the top of a list they may not like. New reports are calling 3 nearby districts as institutions with the highest volume of teachers leaving the districts Madison, Cayuga, and Tompkins. Studies show that higher rates of teachers leaving can have a negative impact on student performance. In the past 5 years, the Southern Cayuga Central District has had a turnover rate of 46%. Syracuse and Onondaga County officials are monitoring the tap water from Skinny Atlas Lake. Recent studies showed low levels of algae in a water intake pipe. The County Director of Public Health Engineering says residents should not worry and tap water is still safe to drink.
And another shopping town tenant is on its way out of the mall. Bricks for Kids, an educational center that focuses on teaching science and math, is relocating. Owners are packing up and headed just a mile down the road for the DeWitt Town Center. This makes Bricks for Kids the 5th tenant to leave the shopping town mall. It follows Dick's Sporting Goods, JCPenney, Macy's, and Sears. The franchise owner says that larger space will give more opportunities for its business to expand its services. And trash disposal fees in the county are on the rise. The Onondaga County Agency Board voted to increase the tipping fee by almost 7% next year, a $6 increase from last year. The fee will help pay haulers to bring garbage to the incinerator. Private haulers will likely raise rates to pass the price increase on to customers. Those who pay for garbage removal with property taxes face the choice of raising taxes or cutting costs elsewhere. CitrusTV Anthony Dabbundo has followed this story closely. Anthony, what can you tell us about this situation?
Yeah, Chris, Onondaga County residents will likely be paying more to recycle. This trend is a response to the national recycling crisis caused by China choosing to no longer accept recycled paper. China's turned away 24 different types of foreign material, driving down the revenues of recycling for the company. This has left waste companies in a bind. The demand for recyclables has decreased, leading to a funding hole for Okra. The crash left Okra with a difficult choice, facing a $2 million deficit. They decided to raise tipping fees on haulers by almost 7% from $89 to $95. This will save the company $2.8 million after last Wednesday's budget vote. This summer, local officials in Okra discussed a potential county-wide recycling fee to fill the revenue deficit. This was, however, not pursued. Okra's main sources of revenue are those tipping fees I mentioned and selling the electricity it creates by incinerating household garbage and putting the ash into landfills. With Syracuse garbage disposal costs rising by $200,000 next year, residents can expect to see an increase in price to take out the trash. And despite the increased cost, residents are being assured that the process of recycling will remain exactly the same. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Anthony. Coming up after the break, Syria opens 2 borders between Israel and Jordan years after closing them. We'll tell you who's monitoring the gateway.
And the CEO of Korean Air is knee-deep in embezzlement charges. And this isn't his first run-in with the law. We'll have the latest on that story when we come back.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close field.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch. Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV Newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News. A review of Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh is being dropped, according to an official from the American Bar Association. They cite Kavanaugh's confirmation as the reason for dropping the review.
The group formerly claimed that allegations against Kavanaugh and his behavior at the hearing warranted a reevaluation before the controversies surrounding the Supreme Court justice came to light. The ABA rated Kavanaugh as well qualified for the position.
Now, the president likes to call my mom a liar. What do the facts say?
The facts suggest that you absolutely have a Native American ancestor in your pedigree.
Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren recently addressed her Native American ancestry with a new campaign advertisement. Warren's primarily responding to President Donald Trump, who's accused Warren of lying about her heritage.
Warren's DNA test indicates her Native American ancestry traces back 6 to 10 generations. The Cherokee Nation has just responded to her claims, saying the test is useless to determine tribal citizenship.
This comes as Senator Warren has been hinting at a potential 2020 presidential run.
Police officials say a North Las Vegas shooting on Sunday has left 3 people dead. A 4th person is also said to be injured, though their condition is unknown. Police say the incident occurred in a parking lot.
They also believe the shooting may not have been an accident. Investigators are not releasing the identities of the victims, but they did confirm that 1 victim is a man and 2 are women. Police have yet to arrest anyone and consider this an ongoing investigation. For the first time in 4 years, a border crossing between Israel and Syria has reopened. The crossing initially closed in 2014 during the Syrian civil war. The United Nations has employed soldiers to facilitate the passage at the border, Elijah.
This morning, a crossing between Syria and Jordan also opened for the first time in 3 years. The opening at the crossing allows relief to be brought into Syria from Jordan. And the CEO of a top international airline was indicted today. Prosecutors say that Korean CEO Cho Yang-ho is tied to multiple scandals, including embezzling millions of dollars.
Prosecutors believe Cho embezzled money through a pharmacy using a fake name. This isn't the first time the CEO has found himself in legal trouble, though. In the year 2000, he received a suspended jail sentence for tax evasion. At this time, a judge has not set a trial date. Elsewhere, in the southwestern region of France, deadly flooding has left 13 dead and several stranded in their homes. Today, most of the population in the affected areas evacuated after a dam overflowed. The area received what's typical of 3 months' worth of rain in just a matter of hours.
Wow, and helicopters were sent out to rescue the victims trapped on rooftops, and more than 500 police officers and firefighters were sent to intervene during the storm. The Prime Minister of France also visited victims today.
And coming up after the break, winter is coming, with snow flurries expected later in the week. Find out if it's still too early to break out the snow boots.
And weather anchor Riley Burg gives updates on Hurricane Michael's aftermath in Georgia, Florida, and Mexico City, all in 90 seconds. Citrus TV News will be right back.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Wait. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where do cats go on vacation? New York.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
And welcome back to Citrus TV News. I know you were hoping for some nicer weather tomorrow, but I can't give that to you. We're looking at more clouds tomorrow, 42 for your morning commute, moving into 47 around lunchtime, and then moving into 49 around 6 p.m. So it is going to transition to a little bit of warmer temperatures around the day, looking at 50 for a high, but then it's going straight back down as we move into night. And looking at temperatures across central New York, seeing a lot of low 50s. We have Binghamton at 49 for a high, but otherwise we're looking at Fulton and Rochester for 53 for a high. And then, like I said, for Syracuse, we're looking at 50 for a high. And I know I have you flustered about the impending snow, but don't fret. The temperatures and the snowfall here are not nearly as bad as what hit the Midwest this past weekend. Areas with snowfall saw anywhere from 2 to 12 inches. And while Syracuse is expecting to see snow, it won't be quite as much. Wednesday night around 8 p.m., you can expect to see snow and rain mix, and then again around 2 and 3 a.m. Thursday morning. Temperatures during that time will be in the low to mid 30s. And although you'll most likely be sleeping during this time, you're still probably going to want some fuzzy socks, maybe a onesie, and maybe some hot chocolate for the long winter's night. And if you're wondering whether the snow is going to stay throughout the week, stay tuned. I'll tell you in my 5-day forecast. But for now, new updates on Hurricane Michael. The death toll has risen to 18, and at least 46 people are still unaccounted for in Mexico City. And in Bay County, Florida, thousands of students are out of school due to the damage, with no idea when they will return. Meanwhile, the state of Georgia is expected to lose more than $1 billion due to crop damage. President Trump reported that he is employing maximum efforts to deal with the devastation.
Coming up in sports, SU basketball adds another player to its 2019 class. We'll tell you all you need to know about New York native Joe Girard. Plus, Syracuse football returns to the Dome this weekend against North Carolina. All that and more coming up right after this.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
Get some drinks!
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
You go and step out of the vehicle for me?
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Welcome back. Huge news this week for Syracuse basketball. Four-star recruit Joe Girard has verbally committed to the Orange. The New York native chose Syracuse other 5 other programs last night. Girard is the highest scoring player in New York high school basketball history. He averaged 50 points per game last year in his junior season. Girard plays at Glens Falls, the same place where former BYU star Jimmer Fredette played. The shooting guard plans to play in Syracuse next year, but that's not his focus right now. He's also the starting quarterback of the varsity football team. They're getting ready for the playoffs to begin this Friday. Girard makes his choice, SU's 2019 recruiting class, that much better. 24/7 Sports says it's currently the 24th best in the nation. Elsewhere on the Hill, the bye week is over. Syracuse football returns to the Dome this weekend against UNC. Now, the team had plenty to work on during the bye week after 2 straight losses, and the Orange allowed more than 250 yards on the ground against both Clemson and Pittsburgh. SU's run D gets tested again this week when North Carolina comes to town. Tar Heel running back Michael Carter is fresh off a 150-yard game.
It's not that easy. It's numerous things. You know, it's a mental mistake here, not being in the right spot. There's physical mistakes where you don't show up in a spot, or now you're in that spot and you don't make the tackle. And then sometimes it's just a really, really good back running into a guy and crunching some bones, and the guy can't hold on and the guy keeps going. So when you tie all those things in, that's the stuff that adds up to some of the numbers that we've been getting.
The tough times continue for SU women's soccer. The Orange fell to Notre Dame 5-1 on senior night. Junior midfielder Georgia Allen scored her second goal of the season. The loss means Syracuse still hasn't won a game since early September. The Orange have only scored more than a single goal once in that time. Syracuse gets a chance to turn that around against Virginia on Thursday. Their final game at SU Soccer Stadium is on October 25th against Clemson. Elsewhere, hockey is back at Tennessee, a rematch of last year's CHA semifinals between Syracuse and Mercyhurst. The Lakers won the first game 4-2, followed by a 1-0 shutout in Game 2. Syracuse is still looking for their first win of the season. They continue conference play this next weekend when they battle Lindenwood in Missouri. Finally, SU volleyball star Polana Shimonova is the ACC Freshman of the Week. She became the first player in the conference to record 30 kills on Sunday against Florida State. As for the team, it was an up-and-down weekend. They dropped that match against the Noles in 5 sets. The Orange picked up a 4-set win over Miami on Friday. Syracuse continues their homestand this weekend against UNC and NC State, guys.
Now heading into some high school football, CNS has dominated the area in some of their rankings of the past few years. Are they headed into the playoffs as the favorite once again?
CNS is back on top. That's Cicero, North Syracuse, right up the road here. They're the #1 seed in the AA class. You got Janesville, DeWitt, also an A, and really all the way down to D, some competitive matchups. Quarterfinals start this weekend.
All right, thank you so much. So we'll be headed back.
All right, we'll be right back.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. This is a serious problem, but one we can solve. Visit feedingamerica.org to help. Together we can solve hunger. Together we're feeding America.
What are you, superheroes?
Just 4 brothers who hate bullies and love this city.
Whoa!
Maybe he's really focused.
Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. This is a serious problem, but one we can solve. Visit feedingamerica.org to help. Together we can solve hunger. Together we're feeding America.
And some breaking news. The Associated Press is reporting that the co-founder of Microsoft has died.
Paul Allen was 65 years old. Citrus TV will keep you updated as the story develops. Let's take a look now at our 5-day forecast with Riley Burg.
Yeah, so like I said, tomorrow, cloudy, 50s for a high, and then Wednesday is just kind of a crazy day. Mother Nature must be having a blast wherever she is. We're going to see sun and clouds in the morning, and then like I said, as we move into the night, we're going to see clouds and more rain and snow. It's just a mix of everything. Thursday, 44 degrees for a high, cloudy, and then we're going to see some sun on Friday, and then moving into Saturday, which is Q's game day, we're going to see 52 degrees for a high.
All right, so we're going to welcome Jonathon, Hoppe, and Riley Burg to the desk. A recent Forbes report came out about how the best football weather may be in the fall. Riley, what do you have for us on that?
It's crazy. So this report actually said that that 50-degree temperature is like the perfect ideal football weather. So that's what it's going to be this Saturday. It's going to be 52.
Do you have anything to say about that? Anything?
I'd say so. I mean, that's good for the tailgating. It's good for the people at the game. In this case, Syracuse plays in a dome, so it doesn't mean that much. But for the overall atmosphere, you think Friday Night Lights too? 50 degrees sounds good.
Definitely Broughton hot dog weather, if you ask me.
I would have to agree.
Absolutely. So we'll take another look to wrap up this evening. Kensington Palace confirmed Monday morning that Duchess Meghan Markle is expecting her first child. The baby is 7th in line to the royal throne and will be Queen Elizabeth's 8th great-grandchild.
Prince Harry and Markle married in May, and the baby is expected in the spring. Members of the royal family congratulated the parents-to-be at Princess Eugenie's wedding last Friday. Isn't that the cutest? Guys, do we have any preliminary names? What
preliminary
do you guys think?
names? I can't. What's a solid English name? Can you think of one at all?
Naming is not my.
You're our resident dad in question. What do you have?
I am the
for us?
resident dad in question. I think we're going to have a nice mix of Meghan Markle's African-American heritage and some nice English heritage.
So James, just a normal James English name. I feel like that's going to be
Jimmy.
all the way got.
What about predictions for boys versus girls? What are you thinking?
You see, there's a solid line of boys in the royal family as it comes to as it comes to Harry.
Right.
So I think we're in for a girl. That's just my prediction.
I'm going to take the dissenting opinion just because I can. We're going to get a board.
I agree.
All right, guys. So we have a little bit more time left, and we're going to discuss just one more thing about how, what we can really expect for the weather this weekend. If we're going out this weekend, how should we be dressed? How should we be wearing? Are we going to be seeing boots? Are we going to be seeing snow? What do you expect for us?
Absolutely. So I think that snow is kind of cutting off after Wednesday, but if you're going to the game, definitely bring a coat, bring some boots, maybe a hat with you just in case you're going to get cold.
All right. Thank you so much,
And that's
Riley.
all the time we have. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook for more updates. I'm Shama.
And I'm Chris Venzon. Have a wonderful evening, Syracuse.